Too lazy won't watch. Turn this into this. There you go. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now I wanted to do this for months now, but couldn't due to I was making other videos and other stuff. But now I'm going to come around to it. So, I was watching Pro Jerry's review of Final Fantasy 2 a few months back, and I wanted to make this kind of video. But it wasn't until I saw his video of Final Fantasy 3 that reminds me, hey wait a minute, should I already do this? So, Final Fantasy 2, for those who have not played it, but know a lot of other similar RPGs, the leveling system of FF2 is quite different to your average Final Fantasy or even Pokemon to some extent, in that when you the way to get stronger is not by fighting a lot, then you get level ups, and depending on who you are, you get boosts in whatever stats. But for FF2, the way to get stronger is the more things you do in the game, in a battle or whatever, the more likely you get a stat boost or weapon boost in that particular field. Like for example, if you hit things a lot, you're most likely to get like a strength boost, or if you use magic a lot, you're most likely to get an intelligence boost. If you use an axe a lot, then you gain a weapon level for axes, so that means you do more damage while using the same axe. That sort of thing. Same thing with magic. If you use the fire spell a lot, you gain a level up in the fire spell, so you do more damage, and you also, I think you waste one more MP, so you do get stronger in magic, that sort of thing. So that's the context of what I'm about to do. Now, for some, I guess, players, this is kind of ridiculous, because you could probably just, get hit a lot, and you just gain like a health boost all the time, because that's kind of a thing with the original FF2, which you could just stay in the beginning area for a long time, get hit a lot, or you hit yourself a lot, and then you get more bonuses in the weapon you're using and strength, and even the person that gets hit a lot gets a huge health boost. So you can get super strong, super fast. And I assume that's not what the intention is for, the developers. So for, I guess, the Game Boy Advance things onward, it works a bit differently. But for what I want to do is how to change the battle system of FF2 to be more in line with, like, other Final Fantasy games, but still retain, FF2-ness, if you know what I mean. So I thought to myself, okay, so how am I going to do that? However, there's been a game that is like that. It was one thing, but then it changed to be more like another thing while still retaining the identity, I guess, the gameplay or whatever of that game, which is Final Fantasy 12. Now, Final Fantasy 12, I've never played it, but I do know that you get, if you want to use a certain weapon, you get a license for it. And there's a huge license board that gives you certain abilities, like if you, do the things for the license. And since the whole thing is one giant license board, there's been cases in which, okay, but since they're like one, I guess, optimum strategy to be as overpowered as possible, to have all 6 characters to go to that same path of overpoweredness, so every character is basically the same thing, only with like minor stat differences. So that's probably not what the intention is. So if you've got a giant license board, you got giant options, then it would make sense if the developers want you to do things differently for each character, but sometimes that's not the case. So they implemented a job system in Final Fantasy 12: The Zodiac Age, in which, okay, so I don't know if it's at some point in the beginning of the game or during the beginning of the game, you can choose what classes each of your 6 characters gets, and there are like 12 options, I believe. Yeah, I think there's 12 options. So out of 12 options, you choose 6, and you can't change classes, so you're stuck with that until the end of the game. And each class does certain things differently. It's like I think the white mage does some green magic, I believe. I don't know all the class right off the bat, but that's the point. The point is that each of different classes have their own separate license board. So So that if our character are 6 different classes, then they gain 6 different license boards to do 6 different things. Now, how do I? So the idea is, okay, so I got the Zodiac Age as an example. So how would I change FF2 to be more like the Zodiac Age while still retaining the idea, I guess, the identity of the gameplay of FF2? Now, let's start with this. Every character can still equip anything. So what I want to do, it doesn't really change how FF2 works when it comes to choosing weapons and stuff like that. The changes will be have a job system in FF2 in which instead of, you know, every action you take causes a stat boost to be risen by whatever amount of points, whatever. So that's the job class determines any bonuses you get. So it's like the most for, how do I say this? The job itself more or less dictates what stat boosts you get. For example, if you get to a mostly physical class where you use more melee weapons, then you gain, no matter what you do in the battle, you gain attack boosts. So that's what's the main idea. So even if you don't use a single attack in a battle, your job, if you're a physical oriented class, then you gain stat boost in strength. And even if you use, let's say, I don't know, a spear in a magic oriented class, and if you hit a lot with a spear, you still get the level up in the spear, but however, you get a lot of magic bonuses. Or if you also equip, let's say, I don't know, the Thunder Spell while you're still, you know, hitting things with a spear, then you do still get level ups in the Thunder Spell. However, that thing you do with a spear, that's entirely on you. So now that you know that sort of context, so let's give an example of certain classes that would work well in FF2. Now, I'm basing quite a lot of FF2 classes. I have an example on me from FF1. Like, for example, the Knight class that I have in mind has a bit of white magic on it, has like your basic white magics, but also have a lot of options for weaponry. And the bonuses will be more or less similar to FF1's Knight. Or a Rogue class, which is more similar to FF1's Ninja, which has knife, swords, and bows as an option, but you also have your generic black magic as your options. That sort of thing. So let's take an example. I said the Knight class, so let's start with that. So there's no matter what you do, you gain a lot of bonuses, and you get that sort of things. I think it's experience bonuses in using a knife, a sword, an axe, a lance, a staff, a bow, a shield, the cure spell, life spell, Basuna spell, and Asuna spell. And of course, like stat bonus like defense and HP, that sort of thing. So the idea for the Knight class here is that you get a lot of a nice weapon selection, but also be more, I guess, like off healing, so to say. So and plus you gain a staff, a shield, and some of the basic white magic for bonuses. So you could technically be more like a standard healer while being more of a defensive class. That sort of thing. The Monk class, the only weapon bonuses it has is for unarmed, or hands as the game calls it. Meaning that you do more you get more level ups in unarmed. However, you get no extra bonuses on any other weapon, and no spells. However, the catch is that you get a lot of stat bonuses. So for the Monk class, my example, you only get limited bonuses for weapons. However, you do get a lot of raw stats. So let's say if you want to get Maria, the Monk class, which you can do, and people have done it, just put her in Monk class and just put whatever armor you have, and there you go. Just let her destroy stuff with her fists. It's entirely possible. Can be done. It's been done, so why not? And of course, you see your generic black mage would have knife and staff, and of course, all black magic would get bonuses. So if you have the black magic, then you gain the bonus in the black magic even if you don't use them. Now, I also added bow here as a secondary weapon, a tertiary, I guess, weapon option. Because, I guess, so to say, because like Maria tends to either be like in other games, either a white mage or a black mage. In Record Keeper, it's the black mage. And she starts out in the game with slightly higher intelligence than the other two guys. So black mages get bows, because similarly with the white mage, because maybe we use a shield, I would say knife, staff, and shield alongside bonuses in all white magic. So that's your standard class. And red mage has a lot of a few weapon options like sword, staff, shield, knife. And by the way, before I continue any further, I like to have a lot of knife options for every class or most classes, and that's because knives in FF2 aren't that good, and you'll quickly run out of good knives. So by the time you get to the end of the game, there are no good knives to use, or unless you get like a sword, an axe, or a bow. Not enough good knives, so I want to get like knife bonuses to as many classes as possible. Anyway, back to red mage. It would have your standard red mage style weaponry along with a bunch of spells. Your traditional black magic, your traditional white magic, even like a few ones like Dispel or Drain or Osmose. The idea is that it has quite a lot of options for bonuses. However, the catch is that the red mage doesn't exactly have good raw stat bonuses. So good luck raising that NP, really. And I'll get to that out later. Next, since the Thief class doesn't really have a steal option, I want to rename it to Rogue, so now that I can use the Thief class, even though it's technically Thief class. It'd be typical ninja stuff like, of course, swords, knives, and bows, because I don't know, I just feel like bows would fit well with like ninja, or maybe just me, just being stupid. I don't know. Since there's no throwing weapons for FF2, so. And of course, that's the last standard black magic. It's pretty nice. Of course, speed bonuses, because it's a ninja. Now, I also like to have classes that are benefit one specific weapon in general. Like one specific weapon, like for example, the Hunter, which is more basically the Archer. Has a lot more bonuses in bows than anything else, however, can do axes, knives, and for the purposes of this video, matter elemental statuses, which are Toad, Stop, Break, Warp, Mini, Swap, and Teleport. So those specific spells get bonuses while also having bonuses in like a lot of physical stuff. If you remember the Elise Alliance, you get a green mage. So for similar to the Elise Alliance, the green mage is a lot more status oriented. So the class here would have basically every other status ailment magic would have a bonus, but also having it's a weird thing: staff, no knives, axe, and shield. Because I think green mages can use hammers in A2, which is kind of weird. So I'll probably do something similar with axe. And it has quite a large bonuses to axe because it's a status oriented class, and because bosses tend to be immune to status boosts, you're going to get some sort of huge physical advantage. So I put axes. And similar, and guess Lancers, so again, same thing with the Lance weapons. It also has like body elemental spells, which are Stun, Blind, Haste, Silence, and Slow. So I guess someone like a Time Mage / Dragoon. I know it's kind of a weird combination, but I just wanted to give this example. And while we're at that, you could probably do some kind of cool options, like kind of more ridiculous, I guess min-maxing these things. For example, there's one called the Weapons Master, which every weapon gets a bonus. So if you're wielding whatever weapon, doesn't matter what it is, you gain the bonuses to every weapon, even if you're not using them, which is kind of ridiculous. So then all you just hit the optimize button, done, and you were set, all set. Of course, weapons and shield, so this kind of thing. But no spell updates, no spell upgrades. So good luck leveling up any spells, because you're going to be playing normal FF2 when it comes to spells. But you get lots of bonuses in any weaponry. Likewise, in the opposite spectrum, a Sage class, which you only get a weapon bonus in staff. However, regardless of what magic you have, even Ultima and that sort of thing, you get a bonus. However, I want to make with the caveat that even though you get a lot of magic bonuses, good luck with all the MP, because I'm not making this class have a high MP boost. just to mess with the stage class. Like I guess the series itself loves to mess with the stage class. You get a ton of magic options, and they're pretty powerful, but you're not gonna cast all of them. Good luck with that. And of course, the Dark Knight, the Dark Knight class, because in the game or had the Dark Knight in Leon, and I guess these are some of the other Dark Knights in the game. Would have, let's say, unarmed, because I need some more unarmed stuff. Sword, staff, lance, and then some mind elemental magic, which kind of makes sense with the mind stuff, because they're meant to like induce fear, because they look kind of scary. And the mind elemental stats are sleep, confuse, curse, death, sap, fog, and fear, which kind of makes sense for like a really imposing Dark Knight. Now the last option I have on my example list is called a Necromancer. Now the idea of a Necromancer is your bonuses will be on super high-end magic, and by that I mean Flare, Holy, and Ultima. Those 3 spells get a huge boost. And you also get bonuses in unarmed, in knives, and staffs, and bows, and shield, which is kind of a nice option. Now, the thing for that, even though this is kind of a ridiculous class, the idea behind it is that you get huge bonuses in the ultimate magics. The catch is that all of them are late game, but maybe Ultima, but Flare and Holy are late game. And you gotta, you gotta find, some sort of thing to do early game. For example, like, if you're gonna do like, mostly physical early game, but by the end of the game, you get access to some high-end spells, and those high-end spells will hit like trucks. And another caveat with the Necromancer would be that the ultimate spell will always hit for its maximum potential, meaning that even if Ultima is your only spell out of a Necromancer class, it would act as if you have 15 level 16 spells in your arsenal. But Ultima itself would be alone. So if you have like level 16 Ultima in a Necromancer, it will hit for its maximum potential, no matter what other spells you have. So there's your example of how to change FF2's, I guess, more or less the gameplay. I don't know how I'll change the story. Let the story, like, maybe change the mind things in the story so it won't be as stupid, the learning thing. But I kind of want to change FF2's gameplay to be more like FF Total Zodiac Age's gameplay. So that's my idea here. If you have any other ideas for how to change FF2's gameplay to be enjoyable but still FF2, just put it in the comments or something. Anyway, that is all. See you guys later.